So you're not required to wear a mask if you're seated. New health protocols.
It was just in case I sang.
Yes, but there is no singing. Right, so I do need to tell you just a couple of things. Health protocols require that there be no singing except for the people that are leading the service.
No.
You can keep your mask off while you're seated, but if you get up and schmooze, you have to keep your mask on and keep 2 meters apart.
2 meters
2 meters apart.
2 minutes apart, please.
It's exhausting talking to people. I had a one-on-one meeting with somebody, and I'm like, I gotta really look and pay attention. So that's it. Those are the instructions.
Perfect. Cool. Love it.
Right, and the emergency exits are to your rear and to your front and to the wings. Yes, you can exit. I'm so glad you're doing this.
Very excited.
So Shabbat Sholom. It's so good to be with some actual people and not looking into my computer screen. And it's wonderful that all of you who are joining us online are here for this very special Shabbat service as we celebrate our very own Paloma de la. Can we claim her as our own? Is that okay? By the way, there are some people here. We have Paloma's family. This is a crowd shot. You're all on camera. Paloma's family and my wife and daughter. My sons are somewhere in the room, and Jen Jaffe. All socially distanced, and you should know that we are allowed now to take our masks off when seated. So that's why we have that. So I'm glad you could join us tonight, but we're most glad that Paloma can be here with us as she and Annette are going to lead this very special musical Shabbat service as we celebrate the songs that have made our synagogue sing. But there's not to be any singing by people in the congregation. But those of you at home, you are allowed to sing. So you can do that. We are going to begin, and unfortunately we don't have the prayers on the screen. If you're following along, I don't think you'll need to because you'll know most of the songs. We're going to start on page 128 with Hine Ma Tov.
Hine ma tov u'manai, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tov u'manai, shevet achim gam yachad.
We'll continue page 129, Zamru La Adonai, a melody that comes from Nava Tehillah, a progressive Israeli congregation that has actually started to really transform synagogue music here in North America, really bringing to life the idea that so many things emanate from Israel and will then spread throughout the Jewish world. And we'll continue page 129.
Zamru l'Adonai v'chinor, v'chinor v'kol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai v'chinor,
I think the first time our congregation heard that song, Paloma, was when you recorded it for the High Holidays this past year. And I'll always remember the video because you were sitting on, I guess it was your deck, your back steps. And it was just such a magical moment for us as you brought us into the High Holidays with that melody. So thank you for sharing that again.
Thank
Brought me
you.
back. I'm not sure I want to go back to those High Holidays, but it
No.
brought me back to them. We're here with lots of different emotions. This morning, I was honored, along with the other rabbis in the community, to stand on the sports field at Vancouver Talmud Torah, along with our MP, Jody Wilson-Raybould, for a Jewish community memorial service for the indigenous children's bodies that were just for the indigenous children and the 215 indigenous children whose bodies were discovered on the grounds of that school in Kamloops. And our community knows grief, and we know how to grieve, and we do it, I would say we do it well because we're so familiar with it. But through that familiarity, we also have this perspective and this empathy that it urges us to action. And one of the things I said at that memorial, which is true not only in moments of grief, but also in moments of joy and celebration, is that the purpose of prayer is not to praise God per se. The purpose of prayer is not to make heaven better. The purpose of prayer is to change us and to change the world, to inspire us to go out into the world and to make the world in the image that we are praying about, in the image that God imagined it and created it. And song can help us do that, maybe more than words themselves. There's been a lot of words. We have been talking a lot, both about indigenous people, about the conflict in Israel, about social inequity and injustice in our society here and around the world, and particularly in North America. We've talked a lot. I'm talking a lot right now. And so now it's time to move to action. And maybe this song is soundtrack for action. So I hope that our prayers tonight can lead us to go out into the streets and into the places where change needs to take place and to be the change and to make the change that we're praying about. In addition to that, it is Shabbat. And so for the first time, I think in like a year and a half, I get to invite somebody to light the Shabbos candles in physical proximity to us. So we're going to ask the Delisle family to come up and join us as they put their masks on and make their way. Don't walk in the rain. You can walk down the center aisle. As they make their way to the bima to light the Shabbos candles. Let's go ahead and light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you very much. Our service continues as we welcome the Shabbos angels that come and help to make our Shabbat complete. Shalom Aleichem, page 142. It's a different version. So if you're singing at home, listen, isn't it? It's Goldfarb. Oh, is that the one we normally do? I don't know. Okay, it's the one we normally do. Sing along at home. Just don't sing here.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashachet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon. מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We continue as we welcome the Sabbath bride, page 138, L'chadodi.
בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה.
And we'll rise now as we continue with Chatzi Kaddish, page 263.
I'll get there. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברכיותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעלם עולם ימיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשו בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, ויאמרו אמן.
Everyone can have a seat. So we prepare to enter into this Erev Shabbat this evening, and we transition from day into night. We'll join together in our Mariv Aravim, roll into dark, roll into night with Xander too.
light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night.
Sleep tight.
Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to
Sleep
night.
tight.
Orei yom v'layla. Rolel or mipnei choshech. Rolel or mipnei choshech. V'choshech mipnei roll into dark. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night. Orei yom v'layla. Rolel or mipnei choshech. Rolel or mipnei choshech. V'choshech mipnei or roll into dark. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night.
Sleep tight.
Yasher koach. Thank you, Xander. We'll continue now on page 266, Ahavat Olam.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל
La la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. to love and to know what is right. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la 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 la.
So beautiful. So as we transition now to Mi Chamocha, we think about our ancestors who were coming out of a terrible situation, coming out of Egypt, and not knowing really what was ahead of them. This parasha that we read, the Shabbat, Shlach Lecha, talks about the spies who went forward to scout the land, the 12, one from each tribe, who went forward, and they didn't know what they were going to find. They were on that mission to see what would be there in front of them, but they didn't know. And when they got there, they experienced it differently. Some of them thought that it was terrifying what was there. They saw these giants, they saw the giant fruits, and some of them, two of them, Caleb and Joshua notably, they thought it was a place, this land flowing with milk and honey, where they could succeed and they could live and flourish. And it's really difficult to know what's ahead of us right now. Right now we're in this time, it seems very weird just to get dressed and put on shoes. But we know that there is this possibility, this promised land of actual future ahead of us that is just full of so much potential, and we just have to think about the way in which we look at it, the potential that lies before each of us is true and there, and just like our ancestors did, like Caleb and Joshua, we have to see the blessing that might be. So let us sing together Mi Chamocha now on page 270.
Ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedesh. No.
So I keep having these flashbacks during the service to camp. I mean, it's the melodies, but it's actually all of the people who are here right now are Camp Kalsman people. Can I do a crowd shot? Yeah, okay. There they are. It's everyone here has been at Camp Kalsman for sometimes some for a lot of time and some for just brief visits, but there's just a magic to this gathering, and that was where I was going actually. Before it's gotten less rainy now, but right before the service started, it started raining hard, and we could really hear. And I said it's my favorite sound in the world. I love being in a tent in the rain, because it sounds nice, but really there's something about being dry and being kind of secure and safe when there's something wet and rainy outside. And I think that's actually what Hashkivenu is all about. Is about the sense of shelter and peace, even when there's storms around us. That we can find that center, and that we can feel the presence of the Holy One. That gives us that sense of shelter. So we'll join together Hashkivenu, page 271.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Amideinu shomeinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Amideinu shomeinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Amideinu shomeinu lechaim.
Beautiful. Continue with Vishamru.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam v'rit olam. V'nei uvein v'nei Yisrael et
Oti
le'olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam v'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam v'rit olam. Vayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam v'rit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam v'rit olam.
We'll rise together now for the Amidah, beginning on page 274.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imot, u'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, leman shemo be'ava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham v'ezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Amen. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated, and it is pouring rain again, and I'm so happy. Continue at the bottom of 277.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, retzei v'mnuchateinu, kadshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chelkeinu v'toratecha, sabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libenu, v'taher libenu, v'taher libenu le'avdecha bemet, v'taher libenu, v'taher libenu, v'taher libenu le'avdecha bemet. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בישראל מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat.
רצי אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל. ישראל עמך, אל קרוב לכל קורב פני את עבודך וחוננו, שפוך רוחך עלינו, ותחזן עינינו בשובך לציון. ברחמים, ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון, לציון.
Amen. So I had a wonderful experience yesterday of taking my daughter, who's 12, for her vaccine. And I know some of you here just recently got your vaccines as well. And we were at the Italian Cultural Center, which is a place I'd never been before, and it's so beautiful. It's really a lovely place. And those of you who've been to the big vaccination sites, there's all these like stops along the way. It seems like, every few feet there's another person to direct you. And as we were leaving and we passed the last person out and I said, thank you, my daughter, she said, why are you thanking all of these people? And I said, she said, they didn't give me the shot. I said, I know, but if it weren't for all of these people coming together, like none of this would work. There's something really incredible about the just all the logistics that went into making these mass sites function so incredibly well, and with all of the numbers of people that can go in at once. And it takes every single person there. And I think that there's something about the way in which we engage with people that if we see each individual person as being the one who makes everything happen, like that is a sacred way of engaging in the world. It's kind of like an I-thou relationship, like Martin Buber taught about, that just taking that moment to say thank you, not only because of what that person was able to do in relationship with you, but because of how that person enables everything else to come into being and to work together is a beautiful way, I think, of engaging in the world. So let us join together in these words of thanks, and maybe call into mind all of the people who helped you have just even today, the people you encountered, to whom we offer our gratitude as well as to God. Page 281, Ve'al Kulam.
Ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, yitbarach v'yitromam, yitbarach v'yitromam, shimcha malkeinu, tamid le'olam va'ed. Ve'al kulam, ve'al kulam, yitbarach v'yitromam, yitbarach v'yitromam, shimcha malkeinu, tamid le'olam va'ed. V'chol ha'chaim yodu chasela, v'halalu et shimcha be'emet, ha'el Yeshuateinu v'ezrateinu sela, Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'e leodot.
Pray for peace. Shalom Rav, page 282.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam.
Take a moment now for silent prayer.
Yehiyu leratzon imrefi, ve'yon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai צורי וגואלי וגואלי.
Our thoughts are with all of our loved ones who are in need of healing. We think of them, especially when we come together in prayer, that they might find comfort and peace and wholeness. I want to call our attention to names of those on our Mishaberach list, the Shabbat. We think with love of Mariel Solon, Chuck Schneer, Ari Goldman, Judy Steiner Losberg, Paula and Bernd Simpson, Eva Layton, Karen Bernstein, Chaya Sachav Bat Yehuda Valea, Alana James, Dr. Dimitri Zanazin, Lynn Shabo, Shayna Stowicki, Elliot Pohl, Sanford Cohen, Jean Angus, Sarah Bat Avraham Vesara, Igor Ilyasov, Ed Ozer, David Shlomo Gorney, Andrea Jarzbiak, and Neil Tapley. I invite you, if there are other people you are thinking of, if you'd like to share their names aloud here or at home. We join together in our Mishaberach, page 371.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheverach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shleima, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. A few quick announcements before we invite Paloma to share with us some words. And you can go sit and come back. It's okay. To share with us some words of reflection this evening. First of all, I really want to acknowledge the incredible team that we have here at the synagogue in our office, and particularly on the tech side of things, but in all manner and respects, the communications that you received from the synagogue this past week, the mailings that are going out soon with our annual report and the announcement about our annual general meeting, phone calls that are being made and meals that are being delivered. We have an incredible team that is working not so much behind the scenes, they are on the front lines of things. And so I want to thank them. And I particularly want to acknowledge Ira, our tech maven, who was the reason why today hundreds of people were able to watch the memorial service at Vancouver Talmud Torah. That was our gear and our technology that allowed the community to connect in that way. And as I wrote to our staff, to be able to stream in high definition with multiple cameras from the middle of a soccer field with no internet access is its own kind of modern day miracle. But Ira was able to do it. So Ira's watching, I know, in the control center, and so Ira, thank you for that. The only announcement I really want to share with you right now this evening is that there are more announcements coming about services at the synagogue. There will be an email coming out probably on Tuesday that'll detail what our plans are for the summer going forward. We are returning now to in-person services by sign-up, not by invitation, but by sign-up. We're limited still to about 40 people that we can accommodate in the tent safely, and so we'll ask people to sign up online in advance for those services. We're going to anticipate that we'll be allowed to have more people in the near future, and then we'll expand those numbers as we can. It's a little bit limited by the space that we have here in the garden. We're also preparing to return to indoor services, probably not before July. Well, certainly not before July. We're still getting the sanctuary set up for that so that we can continue to stream to you there. But we also want to be able to do that in case the weather changes on us and the tent doesn't hold or something like that. So just look for the email. It'll detail where all of our services will be and when. We're also hoping to do Shabbat on the beach, and that may allow us to even have a few more people when we get to that. It's raining again. So those are really the key announcements. Watch your email for that. It'll be coming out in the next couple of days. So it's my pleasure to invite Paloma Delisle to come and stand on our vimah as she has given her gift of music. Now we are ready and excited to hear her gift of wisdom and Torah and insight and reflection. Paloma.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This year was anything but normal. To know that I had a place to go every Sunday, whether in person or on Zoom, was important. I'm talking about being a madrich and junior song leader at Temple Sholom. As a madrich for the Hebrew school over the years, my job has been more than just helping out. I have developed meaningful relationships with students, teachers, staff, and the clergy. It is these relationships that build the bridge between the generations and make Temple Sholom a place I truly belong. My ideas are always valued. I have the opportunity to collaborate, and I've been given too many incredible leadership opportunities to count. When I was placed as the madrich in the Jewish cooking chug, I realized they really know me. I'm not just all singing and music. I have a passion for cooking, and I was so happy to share that with the Hebrew school students. But obviously, there is always a song in my heart. For me, Judaism and music go hand in hand. Music is the great connector of people, tradition, and culture. This is where I got the opportunity to grow in the Temple Sholom community. It started on a whim when I was asked to drum in a Kavanah service years ago. I'm so grateful that Rabbi Dan, Rabbi Brown, Cantor Naomi, and Annette Kozicki took a chance on a kid. This is why I love it here. It's a place for people of all ages to learn, grow, and connect. I'm going to give back to this community that has given so much to me. But first, I want to thank the rabbis, Cantor Naomi, Annette, Jen, and Tammy, my fellow junior song leaders, as well as the Hebrew school students. I can't say enough about the meaningful experience I've had as a madrich over the years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paloma. I want to invite Jen Jaffe to come up and share a few words with you, so don't go too far. And then I have some, and then we've got a blessing for you and some gifts. Jen, you can do it here if you want.
Oh. Well, first of all, what a treat to be in person hearing you. Through Zoom is amazing, but this was next level. And a total test of my control not to sing along with you, but I think I did it. I just want to say thank you for everything you brought to the school. And usually at this sort of siyum graduation of sorts, I say goodbye, I say good luck, but I don't know where you're going to go. And I'm so thrilled that we've already got our hooks in you and you've committed to coming back next year.
Yeah.
And as you just proved with your words, you're ready to move from a madrich to a teacher, and so we're thrilled that you'll be on the teaching staff as a peer, and you're amazing. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
I think we have a certificate for you.
We do.
That's your part.
Hang on, I'll give you the certificate. You can give it to her. So we do have a certificate. I think I can even zoom in on this, maybe. It's way too many toys. Nope, wrong camera. There we go. So there's the certificate, and it says, now I gotta hold it back so I can see it. That's the thing. It says Paloma Delisle has satisfactorily completed the prescribed course of study and leadership at Temple Sholom School. Talmud mibi libi maaseh. Study leads to action, and it's signed by myself and Rabbi Brown and Jen, our school principal. I think you probably used to use hand sanitizer now that we just did that, but that's okay.
Yes.
I have a couple more gifts and some words to share with you, too. So first, as I recall, Paloma, it wasn't drumming that was your first volunteer thing at the synagogue. As I remember it, it was when you were making the kerchiefs for the Shalom Scouts.
Oh.
In addition to music and cooking, Paloma, I think you still like to sew, don't you? has had at one point was a really had your own kind of factory going, I think, at home, and we needed kerchiefs for our Sholom Scouts troop. And we got the material, but I had no idea what to do with it. And your mom kind of volunteered you. I kind of asked, and then you turned out like 30 Jewish star handkerchiefs for our scout troop. So that was one of the first times. But there have been many, many times, going all the way to your bat mitzvah and forward, and certainly seeing you at camp and how you have grown there, and seeing you here, and the contributions that you made to our high holiday services this past year only further highlighted the incredible talents and gifts that you have. So you're going off to UBC. You're going to study science. And I'm going to say to you what was said to me when I went into rabbinical school, or when I was considering going into rabbinical school and still as an undergrad. And I went to the seminary, the head of admissions, and I said, should I take a Jewish studies course? Should I major in Jewish studies? And he said to me, no, you need to take a course in something else, so that your congregation has something else to talk to you about. And then we'll teach you the Jewish studies later. So you're going to go study science. But I am hoping and praying that when that's all done, that you will become a rabbi or a cantor. Because you have such an incredible gift. You are not only talented in your music and your sewing and your cooking, but you have a gift of a neshama, a soul that just, it's raining outside, but it was sunny in here. Every moment that you were singing, you brightened us up. Your family is precious and dear to not only my family, but to our whole congregation. We are so thrilled that you're going to stay in our community at UBC, and I am just in awe of you and all that you do. So we have two gifts that we want to give you. One is the gift that we always give to our confirmands, and it's a copy of Pirkei Avot. And in fact, I was watching today, there was a swearing-in ceremony of the new head of science for the White House. And he swore on a 500-year-old copy of Pirkei Avot. And in it, he found the passage that he thought was most emblematic of the world that we live in, which is that it's not upon you to finish the task, but neither are you free to desist from it. That was his passage, and it made sense for the work that he is doing. I hope that you will turn into the pages here and find the one that makes sense for you. One of them says, "Aseh lecha rab v'koneh lecha aver." Get for yourself a teacher, and you will find yourself a friend. I hope that I can be your friend. You have been my teacher. So that is for you.
Thank you.
And then this is one of my favorite books from Harold Kushner. It's called To Life. I can translate that, L'chaim. And it's really, I think, a story of the meanings of Judaism and the way to find meaning in it. I know you've already found that, but maybe you'll find more in here. So that is for you as well. And then lastly, if I can ask Rabbi Brown to join me up here, we're going to give you a blessing. So Paloma, if you'll stand in the middle, and Rabbi Brown will stand there. I think we're all on camera. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God always be with you, Paloma, through all of life's journeys, and grant you the greatest blessing of all, that of wholeness and completion, the blessing of shalom, of peace, in a world and a home and a family filled with peace. And we can all say together, because it's not singing, so you can actually say it out loud. We can all say together, Amen.
Amen.
Amen, amen. Mazel tov, Paloma. Thank you so much. Thank you. You can clap. That's not singing. You're allowed to clap. So you can clap. So our service is going to continue now. Page 586 will rise for Elenu.
I just wanted to say before we start this, I know Paloma called herself a junior song leader. I think not even at the beginning were you a junior song leader. We both learned how to be a song leader together. You were legit a song leader, and you can drop that, so junior for sure. All right, find my page here. There we go. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. A word of memory before we recite Kaddish together. It's hard to sing of oneness when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can only tell us what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world. In each one of us is the breath of the ultimate one, and in affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. On this Shabbat, we recall those who died during this past week, whose families are in the most acute period of mourning, this period of Shiva and Shloshim, this past week and these past 30 days. As I read the name of your loved one, even if you're at home, and even if perhaps you are alone, and I hope you are not, we invite you and encourage you to rise in their memory and know that we are all standing beside you and with you. On this Shabbat, we recall Katana Barnett, Joseph Littner, Sylvia Markell, Cornelia Hahn Oberlander, Janet Dale Reback, Ron Rodberg, Gary Joseph Simkin, Yana Timko. And those for whom the Ortsite, the anniversary of their death, is on this Shabbat, as I read the name of your loved one, if you could please rise and remain standing as well. Edith Barnett, Chaim Brundi, Ruth Cordron, Fanny Kamm, Alan Cooper, Florence Cowling, Egon Eisenberg, Marcos Eskenazi, Shlom Fisher, Leonard Fratkin, Bessie Gladstone, Bert Gladstone, Abe Goldschlager, Annie Gorin, Minnie Grafstein, Ernest James, Ida Kay, Bernard Lehrer, Barbara Marks, Bernhard Meth, Isaac Morris, Shirley Nerman, David Niddickman, Isaac Parker, Ann Radman, Georges Rostaker, David Rubenstein, Hester Rumberg, Jack Schwartz, Batya Singer, Eric Sterren, Maristus Vanderveen, Robert Vogel, and Brian Wetstein. If there are others, those here that have come to say Kaddish, if you could rise and share the name of your loved one in the midst of our congregation as well. And so now we rise, and we join with all of those who are in mourning, and we add to the names of those who've died in defense of freedom and justice, victims of terror in this land, the land of Israel, around the world. We add to the names we don't know, the names of those 215 children and still yet hundreds, if not thousands more, who never made it home from our residential schools. And those who died in the Shoah, in the Holocaust, their names call out to us as well as we recall them for memory. Page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yomad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon u'payed chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'yimaru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiron be'alma v'yimaru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimaru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort the bereaved among us, and we say together, amen. You can be seated if you'd like. We're going to continue with a closing song of Osei Shalom. I think you all know the words.
Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. 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 Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom. Tomorrow morning services are at 10 a.m. Torah study online at 8:30. We hope that you'll join us for either or both of those. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.